Hello, welcome to the Kitchen Spy. My name is Kate and this is another Meals of the Week video, and this time this is from the 18th to the 24th of July. I hope this video finds you safe and well and that you've had some really lovely things to eat this week and you've had a good week. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so very much for that, and if you're not and you're new here and you feel like you might want to subscribe to the channel, which is mainly recipes, food hauls and meals of the week, then perhaps give this subscribe button a click before you leave, and if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up. This is a video that was partially filmed at the caravan at the end of a week's holiday, and then most of it is at home. So I hope you enjoy the video, and let's have a look at what we ate this week. So on Saturday, yes, this was at the caravan, and we had chilli and rice and chips. So I'll leave my recipe for chilli down below in the information box if you want to give it a go. But this was just something really simple and comforting, and just having a few chips made it seem like a bit of a treat. I love chips, and I think in the UK we call this half and half, when you have half chips and half rice. I don't know if that's a thing anywhere else, but anyway, that's what we call it here. And altogether that meal came to 540 calories. On the Sunday, instead of having a main meal in the evening, what we actually had was a kind of brunch. So we ate this at lunchtime, although it's breakfast stuff, so we called it brunch. And it was a lovely day, so we ate it out on the decking on the caravan. So that's the view down to the sea, that's Cardigan Bay down there. And so we had bacon, egg, beans, and I also had a couple of slices of bread and butter as a treat because it was the main meal, and that came to 557 delicious calories, eaten with a cup of tea, of course. Then back on Monday, back home and back to some kind of normality food-wise. So this was halloumi served with a roasted vegetable salad. So I roasted some onions, some peppers, some potatoes and tomato, and just served that on a bed of lettuce and some cucumber, and just put some balsamic drizzle over the top of the halloumi, and that was really delicious. And there's a few jalapenos as well thrown in there for good measure, and that was 514 calories. And then on the Tuesday I did this fish dish, and this was kind of born out of adversity because I was going to do cod loin wrapped in Parma ham, but they didn't send the Parma ham on my delivery, so I made this, and I am so glad I did because it was just delicious. So I part cooked the fish in the oven, and then I made a parsley sauce out of 200 ml of skim milk with a tablespoon of corn flour, and then added some parsley and some garlic granules and salt and white pepper. Popped that on top of the fish, and then covered it all in Parmesan cheese, and then popped it back in the oven, and it was absolutely delicious. Served here with some crushed new potatoes with a little dab of low-fat spread on top, and some asparagus and sprouting broccoli, or tender stem broccoli, and that was 479 calories, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And then on the Wednesday I made some honey mustard chicken. So what I've got here is I've got 10 ml of honey, 1.5 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 1.5 teaspoons of teriyaki sauce or marinade, and I've got 450 ml more or less of chicken stock. So you just mix that all together, and then the other ingredients, it's so simple this. I think this came from a Sue Kreitzman book years and years ago, but I make it quite a lot and it's really lovely. I've got some onion, as you can see here, just one medium onion just chopped quite finely, and then a pack of chicken thighs. So I've just got 4 here, but you could easily, this would make 6 or 8 because it's got quite a lot of the stock with it. So it couldn't be more simple. So you just put the chicken thighs, and I always try to cut off as much of the visible fat as I can from the chicken thighs. You just pop those in a frying pan, and the frying pan needs to be big enough to allow loads of room around them. And then I'm putting about half, maybe just over half of the stock in, and then I'm just going to sprinkle the onion, the chopped onion, in between the chicken thighs and into the stock. And once I've done that, I'm just really going to allow that to bubble away. It's really as simple as that. So yes, you can see here that here it is all just bubbling away, and you just keep moving the chicken, so turning it over so that both sides of the chicken get cooked. And at the moment it's not looking terribly delicious, just a thin runny sauce, but as you boil it away the sauce gets thicker, and you need the extra sauce, the extra stock, because you can just keep topping it up as you go along, and just keep moving the chicken pieces around and then turning them over to make sure they're cooked on both sides. And eventually it gets down to a really thick, unctuous sauce, and the chicken thighs, and you could use breast meat here as well, but I think it's more flavoursome with the thigh meat, it lends itself more to it. But you can see that they're starting to get nicely caramelised, and just make sure that you have got enough sauce to be able to serve it with. And then here it is all served up. So I've served it with rice and a nice big salad, and you can see that on the side of the chicken there I've actually got quite a bit of the cooked sauce, because it's just really nice to have with the rice. So that entire plate of food there with the rice and the chicken and the salad came to 523 calories, and it really is such a delicious recipe, really flavoursome and so simple to make. Honestly, I mean, well, you saw how simple it was. You don't even have to fry the onion off in the beginning, so I definitely recommend giving that a go. And Sue Kreitzman did some really lovely books in the 90s, all about low fat, so they're worth looking out for as well. Then on Thursday I made this roasted red onion, tomato and chickpea curry, and I served it here with rice and salsa. And this, I've done a recipe for this, and this was delicious. I just got this recipe out of the Sunday Times magazine or something anyway, but it was really lovely. And it's nice to have vegetarian meal, I think, once or twice a week, or more often obviously if you are vegetarian. But I just served it here with some salsa, and this salsa has got mango, coriander, chili, tomato, cucumber, red onion, and then it's just mixed through with some lime juice, and that just gets all mixed in together. And the chili I put in there is actual fresh chili, just chopped very finely. But this is a really lovely salsa to serve with curry, and it's also nice with any kind of meat. So I had this the next day on my lunch with just some ham, and it was just really lovely, really flavoursome, and the lime juice gives it a real good citrus kick. And that entire meal was 580 calories. Then on the Friday it was back to the caravan, and this was just a real simple dinner of pasta bake, so just using my bolognese recipe. I know everybody's probably got their own, but I'll link mine down below in case anyone's interested. And then because it was going in a bake, I just put a few more veg in, so I just put some pepper in, a yellow pepper chopped up, and also some spinach which I'd got left over from the curry that I made the day before. So popped that all in, mixed it through with some pasta that was almost cooked, and then covered it with cheese and just popped it in the oven until the top of it was quite brown. And as usual, when I pop things in the oven with cheese on, I usually sprinkle a little bit of either cayenne pepper or paprika on the top, and this was paprika. So here it is out of the oven, looking really delicious and bubbly, and a portion of that, so this actually made 4 portions, so 2 portions have gone into the freezer. And what we try to do is when we go to the caravan is make sure that we've got our Friday night dinner in the freezer, because it's easier to do when we first get there. So this is it all served up, and that was 589 calories, and it was really delicious. I just love pasta, completely and utterly love pasta, and especially pasta with bolognese sauce. So I really enjoyed my dinner on this evening, and it's really heartening to know that we've got 2 more portions of this in the freezer as well. So that's the meals of the week, and if you're leaving at this point, thanks very much for watching. If you're staying on, I've just got a little bit more about Ceredigion and some of the lovely places that there are there. So this is a place called Penbryn, which is a lovely little cove. It's a National Trust beach, and as you can see, it's got lovely cliffs, and these videos genuinely do not do it justice. It's absolutely stunning. And so you can see that it's partially sandy, and there are some rocks as well. Now actually this is quite a strange beach, because each time you come here, so if you come here one season it's a really sandy beach, and then you come the next season and there's just loads of rocks everywhere. So I think the sea here is quite quite dramatic, and it throws up rocks and then takes them away again, so you never quite know what you're going to get. But at the moment it's kind of half and half, and there are some really, really lovely rocks here. And just at the base of the cliffs there are some beautiful rocks. I don't know anything really about geology or anything, but I just know that this just looks beautiful, as you can see. And there are these rocks which have been worn by the sea, but also what I love about them is that there's a real kind of mixture, and it almost looks like a kind of ripple, a kind of ice cream ripple effect, where you can see that there's this grey rock and also the quartz rock or whatever that is running through it. And just could look at these for absolutely ages, just so fascinating. I don't know whether anyone else feels like this about rocks or whether it's just me, but I just think nature is such a beautiful thing, just such a wonderful thing, and there are so many lovely things you can look at, and the Ceredigion coast really is great. I should work for Wales Tourist Board, I think. Yeah, maybe I'll apply for a job. Anyway, just at the top of Pembryn, after a really steep climb, you get to this church, which is St Michael's of Pembryn, and it's a beautiful little simple church. And normally you can go in and it really is lovely inside, but at the moment, of course, because of COVID, you can't actually go in. But this is the view from the top of the churchyard, and where that cliff dips, that was one of the cliffs I was showing you on the videos earlier. So you can see this is quite high up on the hill, and this is the church. It just really is beautiful, and there's quite a lot of these little simple churches around on the Ceredigion coast, all very interesting. And I find looking at the gravestones as well quite interesting. I hope that's not too macabre for people, but it's just interesting to try and imagine and see the lives that went on in the years before. Anyway, so that's me waffling on as usual. So I hope I haven't bored you too much anyway with pictures of Ceredigion and the Welsh coast. I don't think that's going to be the end of it, so prepare for more. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate your support, and again, thank you for all the comments. I always like to see your comments. I read them all and I try very hard to respond to them all, so I hope I have. Anyway, if you are a subscriber, thanks so much, and if you're not and you just watch, thanks so much also. But if you feel like subscribing, there'll be a button coming up soon. You take care. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one, which will be a haul on Friday. So again, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.